Hello guys, welcome to Online Web Tutor. I am Sanjay. We are learning Level 8 Framework tutorial. This is our part number 92. Inside this video, we will see the concept of trait in Laravel 8. So before going into the deep of this video, first of all we need to understand that what is a trait. So traits are basically the reusable functions or methods which we can access inside any of the controller class file. So if I back to browser, here is our blogging website. Inside this blogging website, we have an article on the topic called Concept of Trait in Laravel 8. So if we click on this read more, or simply if I go at this home page, let's say that you are not able to find this article, so simply go inside this article section, click on Laravel 8 and search here for the topic, let's say trait. So if I press enter, now as you can see that here we have the article. So simply click on this article. Now inside this article we had discussed the whole concept of using trait in Laravel 8. If I scroll down, so in general traits are nothing but a reusable collection of methods and functions. So inside this video we will see that how can we create a reusable block of code so that we can access inside controller class file. So here we have a Laravel setup. Inside this Laravel setup, by the help of this .env file, we have connected with a database called Laravel_blog_English. So if I go inside this, right now we don't have any table. If I back to blog article, so successfully we have installed our setup, we have created our database and connected with the application. Now next we need to create migration files. So here we have the command available. I will copy, go inside this terminal, and here we have the project setup called Laravel-trait. So closing this development server, I need to run this migration file, means this migration command, which creates a migration file called create products table. So pressing enter, back to blogging article. Now next I will copy this command, go here, run that. So by the help of these two migration commands, successfully we have created two schema files, one for the products table and the second for the blogs table. So if I back to application structure, reload that, go inside this database, migrations, and here you can see that we have a products table as well as a blogs table. Now next we need to migrate all these pending migrations to our database. So back to our terminal, PHP artisan, let's say migrate. So when I press enter, so I think that we have a spelling mistake and this is inside migrate. So simply press enter. Now as we can see that all the migrations now migrated. So if I back to database, go and reload. So here inside this database now we have few tables. Here we have the blogs table. Right now inside this blog table we don't have any number of columns. So first of all what I will do, again I need to roll back all the migrations what we have migrated. So PHP artisan, let's say migrate, roll back. By the help of this command actually we are rolling back all the migrations. Now if I back to table, means database, no tables here, it means all the tables now rolled back. Back to article. So here is the migration command, means here is the migration structure for products table. So I will copy the whole code, go here, open up the file of this create products table. I am removing all the code and pasting this updated code. Now inside this code we are creating a products table, and inside this products table we have name, slug and description. Now next we need to create a blogs table. So I will copy the code and we need to paste all this code inside this blogs table file. So go here, this is our create blogs table, remove all existing code and pasting it here. Now inside blocks table, we will have the columns called title and description. If I scroll down, now we are ready to migrate all the migrations inside database. So back to terminal, and I will run the command called php artisan migrate, and as we can see that the migrations are running. If I back to database, click on a structure, so here we have the blocks table, and this time inside this blocks table we have title and description. Now next, the second table we have created called products, and inside this products table we have name, slug and description. To understand about the complete concept of trait, now this time we need some dummy data inside this blocks table and products table. So to feed dummy data, we need some factory files. So if I back to article, so first of all, before creating factory files, we need model. So here is the product model, which will points towards products table, and second one is blog model, which is for our blocks table. So if I copy this command, back to terminal, pasting it here, now successfully the product model created successfully. Now copy this second command, pasting it here, and the blog model created successfully. These two files we will find inside this app, not HTTP, inside models, and here we have the blog.php and product.php. As we know that inside these two migration files we don't have any timestamp columns. Like if we back to table, inside this blocks table we only have called ID, title and description. By default, the migration file provides two timestamp columns called updated at and created at, but we have removed from these two migration files. Now we need to tell our model that we are not using timestamp columns for this products table and for our blocks table. So for that we need to add a public member variable. So if I back to blog article, so here is the code of this product.php. So I will copy, go here, go inside this app, models, product.php. I will remove the existing code and pasting the updated code of this product.php. Now inside this file, as we can see that we have added a member variable, which is telling that we are not using timestamp columns. Now next, we need to copy the code for this blog model, copy that, go inside this blog.php. I am removing and pasting it here. So far what we have done, this is very easy to understand. Simply we have created migration files and we have created only model files. Back to article. Now next we need to create factory files to seed dummy data. So here is the first factory file called product factory, in which we have passed a model flag which is pointing this product model, and as we know that this product model is pointing towards our products table. So I will copy this command, go here, running here, so it has created a product factory file. Now next I will copy this command, go here, pasting it here. Now the second factory file created. So if we back to application structure, how can we find our factory files? Simply go inside this database, factories. Now as we can see that we have a blog factory and a product factory. Now next we need to write some piece of code inside this product factory and blog factory. So back to blog article. So here is the complete code for this product factory. So I will copy, go here, open up product factory, remove existing code and pasting this updated code. Only the code actually changed only inside this definition method. We had written like the dummy value for this name, slug and description field. Rest all things remain same. Back here. Now next I will copy the code of this blog factory. All things remain same, only we have updated this definition method. where we had written the dummy value for this title and description, because inside blogs table we only have 2 columns. So I will copy the complete code, go here, open up this blog factory and pasting this updated code. Now next we need to run these factory files by the help of PHP Artisan Tinker, as we know that Tinker is going to actually give a interactive cell. By the help of that we can communicate our application with the database. So back to terminal, let's open that PHP Artisan, type Tinker, and as we can see that we are now inside our cell terminal. So go here. Now we need to run our factory files. So I will copy the first command. Simply by the help of this first command we are running our product factory, which is going to create 100 of dummy rows. So I will copy this command, back to terminal, pasting it here. All we are calling our product model, scope resolution operator, factory. It means in the indirect way we are calling product factory, which is going to create 100 of dummy rows. So when we press enter, wait for a while because it is creating 100 of dummy rows, and as we can see that product has been created. Back to blog article, copy this second command. In the same, it is going to run blog factory, which is again going to create 100 of dummy rows. So copy this command, back to Tinker cell, running that, wait for a while because it is going to create 100 of dummy rows. Now all we have done, if I back to database, go and reload that. So inside this blogs table we have 100 rows, inside this products table we have 100 rows. Now we have completed all about the skeleton of basic Laravel application. We have created migrations, models, factories, and successfully seed our dummy data inside this application. Now we are going to start all about the learning concept of trait inside Laravel 8. Back to article. So first of all, there is no specific location to store trait files inside Laravel. So what I will do, simply go inside this app, http, and inside this http we will create a folder called traits. So go here, inside this app, http, create a folder with the name called traits, and inside this traits folder we will actually store our trait file. So back to blog article. So we will create a data trait.php file. Go here, let's create a file called data trait.php. If I back to blog article, I will copy the whole code, go here and pasting it here. This is a PHP file, so that's why we have written PHP syntax, and inside this is the namespace. Namespace indicates that this trait file is inside app, http, and traits folder. Now next, to create any trait class, means any trait file, we need to write trait as a keyword and next the trait name. So trait, data trait, inside this we have a method called getData, and inside this getData method we are passing a model. So by the help of this model we are fetching all the data. So inside this video we will see that how can we use this getData method globally inside this application, because it's a reusable block of code. Back to blog article. Now I scroll down. Here we need to write few routes. So if I copy, so first of all we need to create a controller. So here is the command to create controller. Back to terminal. Escape from our PHP Artisan Tinker. So PHP Artisan make controller, and by the help of this command actually we are creating a controller of name data controller, and the controller files will be stored inside this http controllers folder, and here we have data controller. So according to this blog article, we need to create few routes. So first of all, we need to import our data controller inside web.php. So web.php, pasting it here. Now next, adding these two routes inside this file. And these two routes are called list-products and list-blogs. Now next, we need to create two methods called list-products and list-blogs inside this data controller. So if I back to article, so here is the complete code of our controller file where we had written two methods called list-products and list-blogs. So what I will do, let's create that. I will not copy the code of this controller because this time we are going to actually understand what we are trying to do. So public function, here we have, if I remove this whole code, public function list products, and next we need to create public function, let's say list blogs. These two methods actually we are calling inside our web.php, as we can see that. Now if we want to actually get rid of this PDO, now we want to fetch all the data, let's say from the products model and for the blogs table. So what we will do, first of all we need to import, let's say use product model, and next let's say blog model. So simply if you go inside this list products method, let's say products equals to product, and we will use all methods. So echo, let's say pre, and if I write print let's say products, it's print go inside this list blogs, let's say blogs equals to blog model, we will call all method, let's say echo pre tag, and let's say print and inside this let's say blogs. So if we save all these changes, go and start our development server. So PHP artisan serve. If I copy this route called list products, go here, and if I type list products, so as we can see that we are getting a collection object. Inside this collection object we are getting product object. So inside this whole collection actually we are getting 100 of objects. And next if I type list-blogs, now inside this route by the help of that we are fetching all the blogs. So this is the simple concept inside this data controller where we hadn't used all about the trait concept. Now we are going to use the trait concept. So this is the trait what we had developed. So first of all we need to import that. So use data trait. Now go here inside this class, let's say use data trait. Now go here inside this method. Now if we have imported this data trait, now as we can see that here we have a method. Now this method is available inside this data controller, and keep in mind in the definition section we have seen that the trait is a collection of functions or methods which we can reuse inside any of the controller or let's say any of the class file. Now we can easily access this get data inside this products. So what I will do, get rid of that, let's say this get data, this is the method, and look at the IntelliSense. Inside that we need to pass our model. So this time we are fetching products. So I am passing new, let's say product. So simply we have passed the model, and here we are getting that. So by the help of this model we are fetching all the data. Go here. Now the same concept we will apply here because this is a trait which is a reusable block of code. So this get data, and inside this time we will pass, let's say blog. Now if we save all these changes, go here, reload this page. Now the same output we are getting, this is for the list blogs, and when we type for the products, now as we can see that we have the same output. So this is the way means here is the reusable block what we had developed, and this piece of code actually we are using inside this controller. So this is not any controller specific. If suppose inside our application we have 20 or 30 of controller classes file, so in those files we can easily access this method when we have import this data thread, and inside class file we have used that. If suppose if I remove this from here, and if we save, go and reload this page, and as we can see that get data does not exist. So to use this method, as we know that this is a thread method, so we need to import that. So first of all we need to import our data thread, and here we need to use inside this data controller class file. So this is the whole demonstration and the complete concept of thread inside Laravel. So here this is the concept actually what we have developed to get data, but the main concept is that how can we write a piece of code which can be reused inside class file. If suppose you have more idea about let's say reusable code blocks, so you can simply implement inside this data thread, and those methods you can easily access inside any of your classes files. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.